Hello. Welcome to this
Hello.
week's Robopack Office Hours. This is a no script, very low planning session where we're going to talk about anything that comes up, really. Um, Anything, including why my camera is so dark today. That was one topic that came up just before we went live. I have no idea. And really, as I mentioned, not a lot of planning, so not a lot of time to solve it. So it's
Well,
just going to be dark for the rest of the session.
we're that kind of people that we just roll with it. We don't make
Well,
anything
yeah, I mean,
go.
it'd be even
It's
more
like,
dark if I just switched it off, really. I mean, that would, that's, yeah. But yeah, I'll leave it on and we'll just have to imagine I'm a bit brighter today.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah, so we can do anything during this session. Anything that comes up, we can do demos of Intune or demos of Entra, any problems that you've got with Robopack or Software Central
Mhm.
tools, anything, really. We've got a few things we want to talk through, haven't we, Harjit?
Yeah, yeah. We have a few things. Do we have a few people on yet right now? Or
We've got, I didn't even bring up the chat. I'm getting old. Oh, on that note, it's my birthday today.
hey, happy
Thank you very
birthday!
much. And
Yeah,
actually, someone came to my studio to give me a card, which is really kind. Uh,
nice.
so yeah, and whiskey. But I'm going to try and not open the whiskey until the end.
Oh, you got some
Um,
good whiskey. Oh man. Yeah.
we have a LinkedIn user saying "Hello World." I don't know who that is because it literally says "Hello World," but thank you, hello to you and the world. Um, I don't think we
So
can reply back to LinkedIn, but hi anyway. Good to see
yeah,
you.
yeah. Let's do a quick recap before we dive into other things like about the Intune fundamentals training that you did
Mm,
uh, very recently, a week,
last week.
2 weeks,
Yeah, last
last
week.
week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It took because we alternate the office hours calls, don't we? So I threw that in during that week. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you. Um, yeah, I threw that in during that week because it was a very short course. It was only 4 hours long
Mhm.
because we had a bank holiday on the Monday in the UK, so I wasn't here. Um, and yeah, really well attended with a
Mhm.
variety of people, people who've not used Intune before, all the way through to people who were kind of answering questions in the chat from people who were asking them because I wasn't getting to the chat quick enough,
Yeah,
Um, and you were there as well for the majority of it, helping
yeah.
out. So yeah, it's
I,
amazing how well attended some of these sessions can be when they're the fundamentals courses.
yeah,
So yeah, but
they went really well, and I think it was a nice slow start in the beginning. Hey, here's like your basics, like your really, really like you know how do you get in the car and where's your key ignition and things like that, and then after that you got into the hood, right? So it was really well done, and I think we got really good comments and feedback, and people want to see more of that. And I believe you'll be organizing a much deeper one, right? Catering to a specific feature within Intune or something like that.
yeah, exactly. So I'm just going to share my screen actually because I got um, I need to I need to move my screens around before I start sharing actually because you're on the wrong side. So it's not
Ah,
your fault. It isn't your fault. Not your fault at all because it's my screens. But I want to share that screen, which is screen number 2. Can you see my Intune console?
yes,
Yeah, great.
yes.
But you can't see me. Um, how do we? There we go. All right. So you're right. It was a very slow start, and actually, we started by looking at this page here. That's just the dashboard, and figuring out whether you should be looking at the dashboard at all as an Intune admin. And I found this button up here, which I kind of didn't even realize was a button when I started using Intune. And as an admin, you kind of get used to where you're clicking. You go into
Right.
devices, you do devices stuff. You go to apps and do app stuff. And I've never really clicked this button, and this is really cool. This gives you
I
all
didn't.
of the portals in a single thing because you shared the Intune short
MS,
links, whatever it's called.
msportals.io.
Yeah, which is great for keeping track of all the name changes and stuff. MSportals.io.
.io. Yep.
Um, it's fantastic. Very clean, a little bit old school, but really clean. And you can
Very clean.
search for admin centers and stuff. You get the old name, the old link. But I think this is really cool because I screen share with a lot of customers, and they're kind of, I say go to the Entra portal, and they go to
Exactly.
admin.com and try and find the Entra thing, and it's right here. It's right there. You can just click it; it opens up.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that I found when I was doing that was that it's not Intune is really open and kind to other portals, but
Hmm.
because when you click this, you can see all these things. You've got Entra, you've got Azure AI Foundry. You go to Entra, and oh, it is there. Intune's there. There's one. I think it's the Office admin portal where you go to
Ah,
there, and Intune just doesn't. It's not there. It Microsoft 365 admin portal does not care about Intune.
they don't want it to there.
When this finally load, because this is a beefy old homepage.
Yeah.
Come along. There should be a button here. Come on, which will let you click and go to. There you go. Intune isn't around, so
So
it's like
so
it doesn't exist.
they are focusing more on all the M365 stuff, right? Uh, for
Yeah,
for for their portals. Yeah.
yeah,
But
indeed.
no, so that little nugget, I think what we call it an Easter egg, it's a great find.
Mm.
I am pretty sure even the seasoned Intune admins didn't even know about that.
Yeah.
Some did, but not everyone.
Well, I
So
didn't. I didn't. I always
yeah.
used to. I know the off on the top of my head. I know the aka.ms links, and I also have this at the top of mind whenever I'm trying to find things.
Mhm.
But yeah, having the ability to click it. But it's just that kind of thing. This portal is always being developed. It's a kind of thing
Yeah.
now where you don't need to run an update on the Intune portal for new features to just arrive
Right.
on your lap, and you kind of whether you know they're there or not, they get added.
The only
Um,
only thing about the portal updates is that every now and then Microsoft will move things around on you. So you're like, wait, I know it used to be under this blade.
yeah,
Where the heck is it now?
yeah. In fact, that's another thing where talking about blades, you've got this view here where all of these are collapsed by default,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize that was a setting. Actually, when you go into here, you can specify. I forget where it is now, but you can specify whether you want the menus to be collapsed by default or not. Uh,
Ah,
where is it? There's a button where you can specify whether it's collapsed or not. Because on one time I logged into my lab environment and all of these were wide, all opened. So like all of these were completely open. Then when you
oh
go
no.
to one of these, where is it? In users, for example, all of these submenus. Uh, Obviously, it's not this one. It must be Intune. Yeah, I think it's an Intune where you can change whether they are expanded or collapsed there. So service menu, if you go
Mhm.
collapsed, when you go into devices, see this? This I would
Yeah,
hate this. I don't want. I want to see where device onboarding. I want to see enrollment right there. I don't want this
right.
collapsed thing. And so I went in and I was so confused to why they'd changed that, and it was just this appearance had gone from expanded to collapsed. But I'm much happier with this kind
Yeah.
of view here. But it's all personal
Yeah.
thing. But as you
But
say, it was
that too,
something
what
that
you just showed actually is also not very common for Intune admins to go play around with. They just go with the defaults, thinking that that's how it is. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, you can change it to dark mode and all that fun stuff. And
Mhm.
no, this
I'm
actually,
not. I like dark mode for almost all the apps that I use, apart from Intune. I just cannot. I can't get used to this view.
oh boy, oh yeah,
Um,
you're right.
I'm
You're
not.
right.
I'm just not. I'm not enjoying that,
Not
especially
yet.
with this
Yeah.
kind of transparent thing. It's just not. It doesn't feel right.
Hmm.
Hi to Gleb. Thank you very much. Good to see you again. Um, and Matt. So Matt, this you have a question, which is not a Robopack question, but no problem with
The
that.
test lab. For,
Do you recommend E5 for the test lab? And if the license prices are about to go up, they're always about to go up. That's inflation for you. Um,
you don't need an E5 though. You
I
need
wouldn't
an
say E5. So,
E3.
I mean, I assume you mean Microsoft 365 E5 rather than any other of the E5s that are available. So, Microsoft 365 E5, that includes m365maps.com. Let's take a look at what it includes. So it includes, I'll do the Venn just so we can see all of it, and I'll try and zoom in. So it
Yep.
includes all of this, right? That's this huge, no, highlight. Oh no, I want to highlight. Highlight. Where's my highlight button gone? Highlight. It includes all of this, right?
Yeah.
And if we go into that, that means it includes E3 and also the E5 security add-on and the E5 compliance add-on. If you're testing E5 compliance, if you're testing any of these features, then you obviously need the E5 compliance add-on. If you're testing security stuff, which you probably are, yeah, Matt, I know the kind of work you do. You probably
Mhm.
do need E5 security stuff because that'll include things like Enter Plan 2 with access reviews and conditional access stuff, Defender Plan 2, that kind of thing. I would go for this E5 security, almost definitely needed. And obviously, you want E3 because that includes all of this stuff here around your Office 365, Defender, EMS, which includes Intune Plan 1
Yep.
and Enter ID and stuff. So, yes, I think you need access to all this stuff. Whether you need to pay for a Microsoft 365 E5 license or you could just do a trial and rebuild that environment every time, that's completely up to you. I think, what do I do? I use um, the Microsoft 365 developer program.
Is that is that back? Because
No,
okay,
I wouldn't say it was back. It's just as gone as it always has
right,
been.
right,
Let me put this here so you can see a bit closer. The
yeah,
dev program is open, and it's great because it allows you to have access to um, everything apart from a Windows license, which is
hmm
annoying because some of the features actually need it. Autopatch, for example, needs a Windows license,
exactly.
but it gives you access to most of the things you need. Um, the problem is that you aren't eligible for it unless you are eligible for it. So if I choose join now, it should give you. Oh no, that's not what I want at all. Let's look at the FAQ. Eligibility changed recently,
Yeah, they
and
did change that. Yeah,
you need to be. Um, I'll find the eligibility, but you need to be part of. You need to have a Visual Studio Enterprise subscription or be an MSP. There's loads of different ways you can become. Uh, you can get access, but it used to be that it was open for absolutely everybody.
what
There you go.
qualifies right there.
So there it is. So Azure Expert MSP, Gold and Silver Partner, Managed Partners. If you have an account manager at Microsoft, you'll be a Managed
Hmm
Partner. If you buy the Microsoft Action Pack, which I'm not even sure you can get anymore, um, or if you, I'm pretty sure you can get Visual Studio. If you get the Visual Studio, that also works because that's what I use. Um, but yes, there's loads of ways you can get access to it, but it's annoying because it used to be completely open to absolutely everybody, and you could just
Yeah.
sign up, do some developing, use it for testing and that kind of thing. It used to be great,
Yeah,
and
at
I
one time I had a developer license. I had actually multiple, and because I was doing a lot of like work with customers and stuff. And the one thing that I needed to do was, I think was it autopilot or yeah. Anyways, no Windows. So I needed the Windows license, right? The Windows autopilot license. And because you're a developer tenant, you could not add those trial licenses. Like
yeah,
there was some caveat around it, and I opened up a support ticket and stuff like that. Then they chased it for like 2 weeks, and then came back and said, "Oh, we found the problem because you're using a developer tenant." I'm like, "Damn it!" Uh,
yeah, yeah. So I've got I have a couple of different labs. What I mean, I've got two developer program um, things. One because I have one with Robopack now through the
right,
ISV programs, and I also have my own as an MVP, and they're different types of development, right? So I keep them completely separate. But then I also do pay for a lab. I pay for Business Premium because that gives me everything I need for, if I'm desperately trying to access something that isn't available in Developer, then I
right.
will use that. So to
So
answer your
that's what
question,
I use. I use the business premium right now for my own test tenant. Yeah.
yeah. So to
So
answer your question, Matt, I don't need E5 for any of the stuff I do. It's either a
Mhm.
combination of the developer stuff or business premium. But the issue with business premium, is that it's kind of some of the features are slightly
Yeah.
pared down compared to Enterprise E5.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Another question. Um,
Thomas.
yeah. Oh, not
Patch groups
toggling
with no
on.
users targets and
What's the question? Sorry. So patch groups with all user targets end up as all devices in inch. Really? Do you mean in Robopack? Is that a thing you're referring to in Robopack, Thomas? Um,
I
I'm
think
liking the
he.
fact, by the way, that we have LinkedIn and YouTube on Restream
Yeah.
now. That was a bad couple of weeks where we were having comments coming through without without that. So yeah, I'm interested in that. If that is an issue with Robopack that you've found, or a feature
Yeah.
that
Let
you
us
found in
know.
Robopack, please let us know, and we can get onto that. Um, so when you toggle any settings in an app, making it available in the company portal or allowing an install, and then a Robopack is pushed.
All these targets are getting
Ooh,
reversed.
this right. So when you toggle any settings in an app, making available in the company portal or allowing an install, you mean in Intune? If you make that, um, that doesn't sound like it's by design. I don't think we would um, deliberately reverse the toggles that you set. For example, if we push an app, maybe it's different with the flow, but if we push an app to Intune and then you make a change to it, that's absolutely fine.
Uh-huh.
And in fact, that should never change because a flow would always create another app, then supersede the previous one. So no, that's not by design. That doesn't sound right. I suggest you raise a ticket, and I know the developers watch this, so they'll be already trying to figure out what you mean by that. But yeah, raise a ticket, and we'll get right onto that. Certainly. Thomas says yes,
To his
so I
patch group.
assume it's a patch group thing in Robopack, um, which was patch group with all users target end up as all devices. Yeah, that doesn't sound right. So I'm going to test that as soon as we're finished here. And obviously, if that is something you're seeing and it's causing an issue, please raise a ticket, and the
Yeah.
team will get right on it. Um, yeah. Okay. So
Okay. All right.
Matt says E5 to cover Defender Purview Copilot. Copilot's a good one. What do you think? What do you think for testing out Copilot features, Harjit? What are your thoughts on that?
Uh, Again, it's one of those. I think it's one of the M365 licenses that you need. Um, I think is it the Pro? But that's the $30 per user per month, right?
Yeah, yeah. There's so many Copilots.
Yeah.
That was a harsh question.
That's the thing.
Um,
That was a hard question. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I guess there's the Microsoft 365 Copilot for you know collaboration, that kind of thing. That's $30 per user per month, and
Yeah.
then the other one would be Security Copilot, which I'm still scared of.
Yeah.
Um, I'm really scared to use that. I know other MVPs are
Well, that's at
using it.
another level, right? Security Copilot is. So I think you need that one in order to do Intune Copilot,
Mhm.
right? Um, so
Yeah, but I'm
sure
scared to
that
turn it
people
on.
know that.
I'm scared to
Yeah.
turn it on.
I know.
Because one MVP, I won't name their name, but they got a bill of thousands and thousands and like in the tens of thousands of euros because
Oh
they turned it
no.
on and let it do its thing, and if you don't keep track of it, it can be
Very
costly.
costly. Right.
And the stuff that MVPs do in their tenants has no business value at all apart from learning and developing and stuff. So to get a bill of tens of thousands of euros just for figuring stuff out is you
Oh
know,
my
I'm
God.
very forgetful as well. So I think if I turned it on, I would forget, and I'd just end up with I'd lose
Yeah.
my house. I think that would
Yeah,
be the
I
case.
think so too. Well,
Yeah.
the same thing happens with when you were doing things with Config Manager, right? Like the co-management and and you're connecting it to when you're tenant attached and stuff like that. It's using some of your Azure credits and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I think.
I, and Azure's is a
Mhm.
pay as you go cost as well. So you're right, but I just think the multiplier
Mhm.
that is attached to Security Copilot, where it can be so much.
Scary. Yeah,
It is terrifying.
yeah. But I'm glad you brought it up because I think a lot of people were excited about Intune Copilot, and then uh, it came out, and I know this was during my time at Microsoft as well. They didn't realize in order to do that they had to get Security Copilot, which is a and it was like, wait a minute here, what do you mean? So I don't know whether they kind of reconfigured things or what, but that's the current standing as far as I know.
Mm.
Um, and then you got Thomas actually shared a link there, cmd.ms. That is actually a tool by, I believe, Merrill. Um, and he creates a lot of great tools, actually. And this is another portal. It's a, wait, no, is this a portal thing or is this one of those? I think this is a portal thing.
I'm trying to share my screen
Yeah.
so I can
He
show
has
you.
he has another one for the aka.ms links, like because there are a lot of aka, and I think he keep track of that as well. Um,
The share button wasn't sharing. Sorry. Oh yeah. So
ah,
cmd.ms,
yeah.
the Microsoft Cloud command line. So you can type command.cmd.ms to use any of the command releases below. So, oh look, Ian for Entra. I
So
don't
yeah, it's
understand.
taking you to the portals, right? Pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty cool too.
Ah, what? So there's a. Ah, I get it. I get it. So in.cmd.
Yeah.
This is clever. Oh, I see direct links to pages. Interesting. There's so many cool things that are just being developed, especially
Oh my God.
um, since AI has helped make things easier to, if you know the coding behind it and you just don't know the CSS or you don't know the way to make it pretty, AI can help really quickly with you know GitHub Copilot and stuff. You can
Yeah.
really quickly build something that looks good rather than it's just a PowerShell script, for example. Um, yeah, we're seeing a lot of community tools becoming much more um, well, just user friendly. I think there was a couple we were talking about just before we went live, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Sandy's Intune Diff one, which I,
Exactly.
I don't even need to put a short link to. IntuneDiff.com is brilliant when you think about what it's actually doing. Yeah, so this will allow you to specify, where is it, to either sign in and find the policies or upload some policies and figure out the difference between two policies. Really simple to do, and such a good little tool that Sandy's brought together there. And the logo is awesome because in I don't know if she was sharing it on LinkedIn or in a WhatsApp group, but yeah, there's a lot of effort went into the design of the logo there. So I think that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so
So speaking of community tools, I mean, we can cover a few others, but one of the things, uh, yeah, I want to mention um, that there is a new group, fairly newish, called Intune Community Heroes on LinkedIn. It's basically run by our friend James Robinson, Jory, Martin Himken, Maxim Gilliman, and Uger. Um, I think it's pretty good. It's another resource for people where they're sharing tools and tips and tricks and things like that. So shout out to Intune Community Heroes on
yep.
LinkedIn.
Another community post actually I saw earlier on. This actually came from Andrew Taylor's newsletter. So this is Velka's World and
Uh-huh.
really good blog about conditional access with restricted management authentication unit. I think it's this. That's what it refers to. Administrative units. I can't even say that. Restricted management admin units. I'm going to go for. And the idea here, my screen's gone all funny. The idea here is that you can specify um, really special areas that you want to protect even more. So the example she gives is that you could have a group called conditional access dash emergency access, and there might be someone who puts themselves in that, and you can specify exactly which admins can change that. So yeah, really good link there to take a look at that. I actually have that in the short links for me to share here. There it is. But yeah, take a look at that page.
Oh,
Just
that's a good
more
one.
ways of using
Yeah.
conditional access, I think, which is really good.
Yeah.
There's also the short link to Intune diff that I'll share in just a moment. But that QR code's right over your face again, Hodge. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. That's fine. Um,
You know what? I think I can move it. Can
oh,
I?
and another thing that I've been seeing recently with MFA requirements for your tenants, that is actually, I think a deadline is coming up very soon, right?
Yeah, that was just in the chat by I saw something like that
Was it?
from Matt, which is MFA legacy, and I was trying to find it actually in the portal where it's here. I think you can go to legacy MFA. Where's it gone?
I
Authentication
saw there was.
methods.
I thought
It
there was a
used
blog post on it, huh? But
it used to be up here. There used to be a legacy MFA thing that has now disappeared from Entra, um, which is irritating because that's what I was going to use to show you. But multi-factor authentication. Uh, is this the legacy portal? No. Where's the legacy portal? This one. So Matt is suggesting that this one's going to be um, deprecated September 30th. I think that's the one you're using.
okay,
Um, yeah, this is the one where you could enable uh, people's MFA on a per person basis, which is a really old school way to do it. So yes,
so, so it's in the
okay,
Entra admin portal. Okay,
yeah. Well, there's loads of play. They keep moving it because it's not where you should be working. It was kind of the legacy portal where it's not using conditional access properly at all. It's just kind of enabling MFA for users on a per user basis, which is awful.
all right.
Um, okay, so
That's another good question from Matt about vulner- vulnerabilities.
this one. I've seen many
Yeah.
customers have vulnerabilities with Windows Apex, like terminal image raw. Um, can Robopack update those? Yeah, I mean, um, Robopack can update and does update Windows Store apps, which include the built-in ones like Xbox and Terminal, all that kind of stuff, as well as Winget-based apps. So yeah, it can absolutely do that. Um, yeah, it can. I will just grab that screen because I have it on a different window. Log in. Sorry, bear with me a second. Moving screens is just annoying. Sharing screen too. So robopack.com. In Instant Apps, we can go to here and search for Windows Terminal, I guess. And we have terminal. Yeah. So you can absolutely use that. It was updated a few days ago. You can absolutely just add that to a patch flow, and it will do that. Yeah, analyze and build, or set up a flow. Actually, ideally set up a flow, and it will update those. Yeah, and actually, that's a good point on the vulnerabilities thing. We are working very hard to add the vulnerabilities feature to Robopack, where you can see which applications in Radar actually are vulnerable. So you can, if you aren't already updating them automatically, you can really focus on getting those migrated to Robopack as quickly as possible. Okay. The other one about the OIB, the Open Intune baseline. I can't click the link, annoyingly, so I'm going to have to go to deploy.openintune baseline. That's a long URL, isn't it? Um, there it is. So yes, he has written this. I assume it's been he's used some kind of AI to do this because it looks really pretty. And no offense, James, if you do watch this, um, all the stuff you build is pretty. I know it, but this looks really pretty, and I assume that you had some help from Copilot on this because this is great. Uh, yeah, I think this is good. So this is a way of deploying the Open Intune baseline because before this, you had a couple of a combination of two different tools
Uh-huh.
you had to use, but this looks like it will authenticate to your tenant and do it for you, which is brilliant. Have you used this, Matt? You mentioned um, you mentioned that he's deployed that. Have you had a chance to use that? There's a long delay on this, so I assume he'll
Yeah.
answer at some point.
This this links to the GitHub repo, right? From that page, I believe.
Yes, there is. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I would go there, and yeah, maybe this just
Yeah.
works. Um, it says Open Engine Baseline now provides enterprise-ready security configurations. Um, actually, OpenEngineBaseline.com has been completely redeveloped as well. Look at this.
Oh
Um,
wow,
that is nice.
that is nice.
Uh, yeah, and it has a dark mode. I prefer the dark mode version of that. Actually, I
Yes,
don't know
this
about you.
one dark mode works
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. So we had a few more things that I wanted to touch on. You mentioned Yuri's LinkedIn group, but Yuri also does some really good posts. He has a
Oh yes.
blog
Oh
called
yeah.
intunestuff.com.
Mhm.
Um, I keep losing the screen share.
I like the name
Uh,
Intune stuff.
yeah, yeah, that
All
actually works really well. The way Yuri talks as well. That's pretty much he's talking about Intune stuff. It works quite well.
yeah.
This is how you can use with the new Windows backup feature. And I was
Mhm.
actually last weekend, I was trying to record a video of it, but it wasn't in my tenant yet. And we talked about Intune just kind of updating in the background. It's so annoying that they release a feature and say it's available, and then people are doing posts, and it doesn't appear in my tenant
Right.
for days. So that's pretty annoying. Um, but yeah, I didn't get a chance to do a video on it, but Yuri has done a lovely post about it, and it's formatted really well. It's really easy to
Mhm.
follow. So take a look at whether you want to use the new Windows backup features within Intune, um, and this kind of thing would help with migrations from hybrid to cloud only, I think,
Yeah.
and config manager to Intune. There's loads of reasons you might want to use this um, feature, which has just been released, but. Yeah, it's essentially when you're building a device, as it says here, it just shows you the latest backup that's available, and you can click on it, and all your personalizations and stuff that you had in the previous. Oh, that's the Windows 10 to Windows 11 migration as
Yeah.
well. So that if you didn't have a wipe and load, you don't want to do wipe and load. Sorry, you don't want to do wipe and load because you lose stuff. Then you can just restore it
Just
instead.
do a restore. Yeah.
Yeah, get a
This
nice.
is really interesting because when I was at Microsoft, this was something that I was actually working on as well and behind the scenes. So it's been
Nice,
in the works for a long time. I'll tell you, over a year.
really.
Yeah.
Well, you got there eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, you just spoke about Windows 10 and 11. I found this really cool site called windowscountdown.com.
I knew there'd be one.
So, October 14, 2025, guys, it's coming up fast. So, based on this countdown, it says you got 5 weeks, 5 days left. That is like right around the corner. So,
I've actually got a Lemetric time. I don't know if you've seen a Lemetric. It's a little clock where you can put anything you like on there. It's like just an LED display where you can
oh
use a mouse
yeah,
to put. I'm going to put that countdown on on Milometric and just put it somewhere over there so it's always in videos and you can
Always
see
the
how long's
videos.
left
I love
until
it.
the end of Windows 10.
Yeah.
Because it's
And then
it's
to go along with this, there's another site. I think we shared it during your the Intune fundamentals training last week. End of life dot date that gives you end of life for um, all sorts of products, including Windows. Yeah, that's the
mm,
one. So
yeah, I assume Windows is going to be there. Windows. Uh, oh, there it is. 22H2. Extended support still good for another few years. Just it's fine. It's not a problem. Keep going.
keep
Hey, you know
going.
what happened in October?
What happens in October?
Yeah, events. We are at
Oh yes, for
Music City.
events. Yes, yes, yes. So, well, we're going to be at this month. We're going to be at Ninja Summit in Baden. Um,
Yes,
so
2 weeks
that's
time.
coming up. Yeah, exactly. So we'll be there. If you guys are there, come and check us out. Come and talk to us. Love to meet you. Maybe
Yep.
do some interviews and things like that. Um, and then October we have MMS in Nashville, and then we have Ignite in November, and it's crazy busy now. And I mean, know, event season is starting up, and for me especially, like starting next week, I'm going to be hitting the road. Um, I'm starting with a trip to Quebec for an event there, and then Copenhagen and Zurich and then I actually also signed up for a couple of those AI tours by Microsoft.
Okay.
There's one in Toronto and on October 1st. There's one in Ottawa on October 3rd. So I managed to get accepted to attend from Microsoft because um, those are not one of those things where you just go sign up and you get a ticket. They
Right.
actually evaluate. Exactly this is the one. So they're actually starting off. If you go down a little bit more, yeah, starting in Osaka and then Chicago, and then they'll start popping open some of these cities as you go along.
Mm,
So
cool.
if there's one, whoever is on our show, if there's one for in the area you're at, make sure you click on it
Apply.
and apply. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm actually before Zurich. Obviously, we're over in Copenhagen for the Robopack
Hmm.
and Software Central get together, but after that, I'm heading to London for Experts Live UK, which is a 1 day event.
Yes.
Really, really close. Got a lot of attendees signed up now, so that's going to be great. Experts Live UK. I don't have a QR code for it, but I do have the link there, expertslive.co.uk, in 12 days' time, completely free to attend. Now we
Mm.
managed to get sponsors to cover all of the cost rather than charging anything at all. So that's really good. Yeah, so come along to that. If you're in the area, definitely sign up to that. Um, Also, actually, a bit more further afield, we have Cloud Tech Talent. Have you heard
I
of
heard
that?
good things about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard good things about it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm on the organizer team for Cloud Tech Talent, and we are just closing up the call for speakers soon. So I'm going to share a link for the call for speakers. But this is
Yeah.
in end of January, so winter in Tallinn in Estonia. Beautiful city, absolutely incredible, incredibly
Oh,
beautiful city. Not that cold. I expected it to be like freezing because it's kind of in that area, but it was lovely. Real mix of historic kind of architecture and really advanced tech in the building that they've got in the Talent Creative Hub. So it's awesome. In fact, I've got a picture here, completely bare walls with massive screens and good audio. Um, yeah, that's the hub there, and if you can see that on the screen, it's pretty impressive as a building, and it's just great to do a session in. But yeah, the call for speakers is ending soon. So if you are one of those people who wants to submit a session, it's open on Sessionize, but it's
yeah.
closing in a few days' time. So be sure to jump on that. There are hundreds of sessions already submitted, though I know that. So the team are desperate
Isn't
to
there
get.
another one called App Management too? Um,
App manage event. Yeah. Um,
yeah,
app management. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's kind of app manage and event at the same time. I don't know if you meant to say it like that. Uh, but yeah, we're attending that Robopack. This has the awesome Paula. I'm not going to try to pronounce her surname, but
she's amazing. Paula is
she's
amazing.
incredible.
Yeah,
And Sammy Leho.
Sammy Liho is amazing too. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, that's a good. It's a great event for Robopack because it's all about
Hmm.
applications, and there are so many people there wanting to talk about apps and how to do it better. And our use of PSADT is always a really popular topic there because um, PSADT is a great tool for deploying applications, and almost everyone who goes to these events is keen to do that better. So yeah,
Yeah.
great event.
I think uh, I think Thomas had mentioned something. Is that a typo? Lovely using PS App 4 or is that PSAD?
PS App Deployment Toolkit version 4. Yeah,
Right. That's okay. Yeah.
that. Yeah, we obviously released that recently.
Mhm.
Support for that recently. The PS App Deploy Toolkit team released it and did all the work. We've kind of just
Yeah.
adopted it. It's much better to use. Actually, I think it's just a nicer, prettier interface for end users.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Question
Uh,
from Matt
hmm.
about yeah. So they do have the ESU available for extending Windows 10 to 11. Uh, I think there's a different tier for consumers versus enterprise. Um,
Yeah, for consumers, I know that you can just sign up in the Windows in settings in software updates or Windows updates. Sorry,
yeah,
you can just sign up and say I'd like extended support, and you get it for I think for 3 months or something or longer actually. But you do need to sign in with your Microsoft account in order to get
the
that.
MFA. Yeah,
Um, yeah, or I think there's a small charge as well of like $20 or something, but you can definitely do that. I don't think you actually have to input a new license key. I think it's all kind of
no.
just done through the update channel.
Hmm.
um, I don't know how it works for businesses really. In fact, I do know how it works for businesses. Don't do it. Move to Windows 11. It's not a big deal. It's absolutely fine. Push the updates. I knew a couple of businesses actually who have told me that they rolled out Windows 11 completely by accident and just pushed the update to more people than they expected, and overnight it was all done and kind of ripping off the band-aid, and it just worked. And it is surprising how much Windows 11 just works compared to the upgrades from kind of 7 to 10.
Yeah, that's a great story right there because going back to my university days as a sysadmin, I was working with a colleague of mine to set up a config manager. Right, I think it was config manager 2007 or something at that time, many years ago. And
Yeah,
we were like trying to like, oh, the reason why we were putting this up because we were trying to test Windows Defender, right, the free antivirus, right, that comes
right.
with Windows. And we were using a third party. I think we went from Symantec to McAfee to whatever, and we were trying to like get rid of that because it was expensive and wasn't working well. And my colleague, we were working on putting this together. We were just testing it out on small collections. Next thing you know, it got pushed out. The client, SCCM client, went out to all devices, and we walked up to the boss's office. We're like, "Hey, boss, you know that SCCM, we're now in production." Well, he said, "What?"
Nice.
But we're
It's
like,
so
"Well,
easy.
it's so easy. We've done it."
Yeah, so easy to do. SCCM was terrifying like that, wasn't it? Because it was so
Oh my
quick to make
god!
those changes. Intune with Intune, you've got a if you'd done that with Intune, you'd have almost a whole day to rectify and figure out how you felt about your mistake. Whereas with SCCM, it's kind of it's done, it's everywhere. um,
Mhm.
yeah, I love that. Um,
So I like to touch upon this Matt's latest feedback there. So I think he's trying to say that the reason people haven't gone to Windows 11 because of customers still have a legacy app. I have a hard time with this because there's been so many years that they had this opportunity, right? And we also have what do you call it? Aperture, what was it? Aperture? No,
Aperture.
from
Yeah.
Fastback.
Yeah.
Aperture, yeah. The service that actually it's a free service from Microsoft that helps you get your legacy apps to become compliant with Windows 11 if they're not, right? And they also work with your vendors and stuff. People don't leverage stuff like that. And also, a lot of times I've seen where organizations say, "Hey, we can't go to Windows 11 because of our app, whatever." The vendor actually has already got a new version out that supports it, but
Yep.
it's the admins that don't want to make that change because it's scary or because it requires, I don't know, maybe another server to set up, depending on what kind of app that is, right? Um,
Yeah.
it, so
Yeah.
I'm on
And
the
I think
fence, right? I totally get it. I totally understand it, but it's really it has the legacy apps has been debunked. Like, if it works on Windows 10, it should work in Windows 11, and it does.
mhm.
Um, you know, what
Yeah,
are your
and
thoughts?
there's also this thing where people say they need hybrid because they've got apps that mean they
Yeah,
need or features they're using in hybrid that they can't move to cloud only, and it's almost always not the case for 95% of the organization, but those
mhm,
5% are kind of holding you back. And so yeah, maybe you need to run unsupported Windows 10 for a few
yeah,
weeks or however long on a tiny subset of your devices, protect them in a different way, isolate them from the internet, all that kind of stuff if you need to, so that you don't have to hold everything back and pay hundreds
yeah.
of pounds per device to keep them supported. And also money is a great incentive.
It
if,
is.
if you start if you start having to do additional things to protect these devices, you should probably just spend the money and move.
Yeah,
So
because ESU is not cheap at all. It's really expensive. It's gonna dent your wallets for sure. Um,
yeah.
and
Okay, so what
the,
else? We're coming close to time because I have to go and pick my kids up from school. um, but what else have we? Oh,
looks
who?
like they only.
What looks like they only support Windows 10 in Windows 365. Who? Aperture?
Oh, so I think. Oh, you mean the aperture? I
I
don't
don't know.
think so.
No, Aperture's everywhere. I think.
Yeah,
Only support Windows 10 in Windows 365. I don't think I have enough information in order to react to that
mhm.
in a
Well, I
meaningful
do
way.
know that if you do have a Windows 365, if you do have Windows 365, your ESU is actually covered for Windows 10. So you don't have to pay extra for ESU for Windows 10. So that is one of the catch there. So they want you to do Windows 365 because they want you to do the cloud stuff. And at the same point in time, you are covered to drag your Windows 10 for a while. Um,
In Windows
that,
365.
yeah,
Oh, I see. So you could have a Windows 10 device you have a laptop
yes.
running Windows 10 and use Windows 365 to have Windows 11. Is that right?
Uh, yes and no. So you can have Windows 365 on that Windows 10 device. So you can do both, right? That
Yeah.
means you can do Windows 11 in your Windows 365 in your cloud PC, but it also supports the extended support on your Windows 10 base device.
Hmm.
So that's one of the incentives, I guess, because I think the whole idea is at some point or another they would like everyone to move to cloud PC and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Um, with those little pucks and all that stuff. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we're going to end in just a moment. So thank you for everyone for
Hmm.
joining in and stuff. But just to end on an incredibly sad note, that Scapman, it was recently announced, is coming to an end of life.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are many other alternatives to Scapman. There might be one with a name beginning with R, and you might be watching that screen right now. But there are there's loads of people currently using Scapman for various reasons. It was a fantastic um, fantastic tool, and the team there are brilliant. Obviously acquired by Patra PC at some point, and now becoming end of life. So
Mhm.
interesting to see that. And yeah, obviously there's some work for people to do to move off Scatman to something equally great, based in Europe and
Yeah.
cloud native.
I
Um,
like the way you put it.
not saying any more than that,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, a lot of people will be affected by that because it had a huge following. Um, but yeah, I'm sure Wout and the team will be at events that we're at, so I'm sure we can discuss it
Yeah.
at some point in the future. But that's it was coming, but it's sad to see.
Yeah. And if we have anyone new here who hasn't heard of Robopack or don't know what Robopack is, head down to robopack.com. You'll get all the deets there. You'll have trial and demos, and reach out to Dean and myself if you need more information. Um,
You know, the marketing team must hate us because we hardly do any promo for Robopack on this thing, do we? So there is the link to a completely
there you
free
go.
14-day Robopack free trial. Um, obviously, no, you have to give hardly any details to get that trial. So yeah, just grab that and take a look at it, see what you think. If you want a more personalized demo, you can also submit that form there, and yeah, get someone from the team, either me or Haja or one of the more knowledgeable people about the product, to jump in and do a demo for you. And just to round that off, we obviously have Tenant Manager, which is
Yeah.
an incredible tool for managing multi-tenant environment with Intune and Entra. Don't forget to check out that. It is only getting better with the more time we spend developing it. It's a very recent product for us at Software Central, so
Mhm.
please do look at that. I've even got one here called "Don't Miss Our Next Session." So that must have been put there by the lovely people in the marketing team to allow you to catch up on our events that we're attending. So if you want to find out where we're going, what sessions we have next, please sign up to that or follow that link. Um, you don't even have to scan the QR code. You can just use the URL if you like. Uh,
Perfect.
yes. Anything else you'd like to
No,
chit chat
that's
about?
pretty much it. And thanks for everyone, who has been in the chat here, giving us a lot of feedback and interacting with us. And uh, this is
It,
fun.
it is fun, and I'll say it again. It's good to see some LinkedIn comments on here because it was a little bit disappointing that we couldn't see that, and I don't dare open LinkedIn while I'm running the live stream because that would be very distracting. So yeah, it's good to see you all here.
All
That's
right.
it from us. But thank you very much, and have a lovely Wednesday.
Cheers, everybody.
See you next time.